From The Practical Guide to the Law in Victoria. Arrest. Arrest in Victoria may be carried out either with or without a warrant. However, a person cannot be detained in custody, except under an arrest. On the 16th of March 2020, this cunt declared Victoria to be in a state of emergency, under the Public Health and Wellbeing Act 2008. From the Public Health and Wellbeing Act 2008, Section 170, Clause 6. Despite Section 78 of the Magistrates Court Act 1989, a search warrant must not authorize an authorized officer to arrest a person. From the same Act, Section 200, Clause 1a. Subject to this section, detain any person or group of persons in the emergency area for the period reasonably necessary to eliminate or reduce a serious risk to public health.
So we all remember when the blue and white chimps entered the house of a pregnant woman with a search warrant because she was inciting protest which were a risk to public health under the state of emergency. So the blue and white chimps entered the house, and what did they say to her?
Now you're under arrest in relation to incitement.
Oh, straight away they said she's under arrest. But if we go back to see what Section 200 said of the Act, under emergency powers, it says that detain any person. It doesn't say anything about arrest anyone. The emergency powers under the state of emergency state detain any person or group of persons. It doesn't say arrest, it says detain. Furthermore, as we saw in Section 170 of the same Act, it said a search warrant must not authorize an authorized officer to arrest a person. Okay, so what if the blue and white chimps, instead of arresting her, what if they just detained her? Let's go back to the practical guide to the law in Victoria and look at the meaning of the word arrest. However, a person cannot be detained in custody except under an arrest. Hang on a second, so according to law they can't be detained unless they're under arrest, but the emergency powers under the state of emergency says that they can only be detained. And the same Act also says that a search warrant does not authorise the officer to arrest anyone. Yes, you can detain someone. No, you can't detain someone. Yes, you can arrest someone. No, you can't arrest someone. Well, if you arrest someone, you've got to detain them first, but you can't detain them unless you arrest them first. See how fucked up this system is? And everyone sits back in front of their TV and sucks Daniel Andrews' cock.